What do you do when life knocks you down? Now, life has knocked me down multiple times. If you're a longtime listener to the podcast, you know all the weird, random moments in my life that were really difficult when life knocks you down. Now, today, as I'm recording this, life hasn't knocked me down, but I kind of feel a little bit like deflated. And the question is, when life knocks you down, when life takes the air out of your sail, and you're just kind of like, ugh, what do you do? Now, there's a couple different things out there that have, like, when life knocks you down, dust off your boots, get back up. Or when life knocks you down, you get back up. You're not measured by how many times your life knocks you down. You're measured by how many times you get back up. And those all feel good, and they all sound good, and they may all make maybe a good Instagram reel. But the question is, what do you do when life knocks you down? Because it's going to. It's pretty much a certainty. There's going to be a day where you're just kind of like, woof, man, that really hurt. I mean, it could be a couple different categories. It could be an issue with your kids. It could be an issue in your marriage. It could be an issue at work. It could just be this own head war that you're playing in your mind. But I ask you one more time, what do you do when life knocks you down? Now, this is often when many men's vices come into play. Alcohol, dipping, cigarettes, that these triggers from stress cause us to go to these other things to help numb that feeling or to swallow it down or to find the solution at the bottom of a bottle. Now, most of us that don't have those vices know that those aren't healthy vices. But when you have those healthy vices, what do? You're not able to always see. You're only able to see, like, I just need to get past this moment. And if I get past this moment, it'll get better. Earlier in the week, we talked about Ghostbusters and how there's that moment in Ghostbusters Afterlife where you're pushing down those feelings. And so for me, when life knocks me down, don't have many vices. Many of my vices are really just walking outside or scrolling on my phone for too long, which aren't healthy either. But for me, the part for when life knocks me down is realizing a couple different things. And this episode is partially therapy for myself, partially therapy for you as well. Because when life knocks you down, there's a couple things that go through my mind. One is I need to renew my faith that at any given moment in the future, life can get better. At any given moment in the future, life could change in an instant. I talked about that a few weeks ago, how any given moment your life could be forever revolutionary changed. Forever. Another part that I often think about, what about faith? Faith in the future. Because ultimately when life knocks you down, it's faith in the future that things will get better is what we disbelieve. That we believe this is where we're meant to be. That we believe this is where life has us coming back to for a reason because this is a verdict of why we suck. Because I can tell you, there's many moments in my life, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, where like, yep, this is why the universe says I suck. And you just validated it once again. Thank you so much for that reminder, life. But it doesn't actually do anything. It doesn't get you better. And so I'm reminded also of a few weeks ago where I had a day where I was like, similar to today, kind of. And then literally by the end of the day, it was a completely different day. I had opportunity. I was excited. I was thrilled. I was back into my vibe. The other thing that I did today, right before recording this, is I went for a walk with the dog outside. And I used this technique that I was just reminded of because I reminded it of to my daughter, that tapping into the 5 senses. Listening to the birds. Can't tell you how much I love listening to the birds. Hearing the things that were around me. Feeling the things that were around me. Feeling the wind. Feeling the moisture. Feeling the humidity. These things within your 5 senses get you back to reality. They get you back to a place that's real. And I think that's the component that when life knocks you down, there is an illusion set up in your mind that this real and that we need to go back and get back to it. So let's summarize this kind of rant, an illusion, acceptance. When life knocks you down, the most important part that I remind myself of is I need to get back to reality. Get back to what is real in the physical known world built with atoms. Because in my mind, these thoughts, these stories, they may feel real. They may be true moments in time in my life, but they're not dictating how the universe in the future will show up. Because think of it this way. Everything in the known universe is a physical world that's outside of your body. That world will consistently evolve, whether you have a shitty day in your mind or a good day in your mind. Getting back to the reality of the known universe, that's kind of where I'm always going. Now, that's a deep thought there, but when life knocks you down, you want to get back up and get back to reality. Now, there is that popular song with that same phrase in it, and in this case, reality is just get in touch with what's the physical, real world around you. Because in the sea of emotions that you might be feeling on the inside or avoiding, the reality is what's going to ground you back. It's going to bring you back to this reality and ground it to where you can be someone better and show up in your mind even better and kind of let those old thoughts subside, and get to a place where you can get back to living, because that's the goal. That is the goal of this podcast, is to help you get busy living. Because if you're either busy living or you're busy dying, and we don't think enough about that. And when life knocks you down, we spend too much time thinking about Eeyore and just feeling sorry for ourselves and like, oh, here we go again. We need to get back to reality. We need to bring ourselves back to who we are. We need to bring ourselves back to the things that we can touch in this known world and get back to being who you are. So my pep talk is done to myself. Hopefully that pep talk helped for you. That is all we have for today. Have an amazing Memorial Day weekend, and we'll be back again on Monday for Memorial Day.